Hello, everyone. A very good evening to all of you. I am very, very pleased to welcome you all to today's meditation session. And as promised, we are going to have a special session today because we have a very special reason to celebrate a very special personality. And as some of you would have guessed, yes, it is about Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, the founder of Sahaj Yoga. Tomorrow, on the 21st of March, we are celebrating her birthday, her 101 birthday. So it is a special day for all of us, those who have benefited so much from Sahaj Yoga meditation, because Shri Mataji quietly transformed lives. So I would like to share with all of you a little presentation that we made on the life and achievements of Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi. I personally feel very, very small to talk about such a great personality. After that we will have a food soak and a meditation, and we have prepared two special videos for you today. One is of one of the meditators who have been privileged to meet Shri Mataji in person, and his meeting with Shri Mataji is described so beautifully, and I'm very sure all of you will enjoy it. And the second short video is a documentary on the life and work of Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi. So can I please have this presentation on the screen? All right. So Shri Mataji is how she lovingly is called all over the world. Her official name, though, is Nirmala Srivastava. But as I said, because for the contribution she offered to all of us, and for her motherly qualities, and for her capacity to awaken the motherly energy within us, she was lovingly called Mother. So Shri Mataji, Mata actually in Sanskrit means mother. So in a very respectful way, Shri Mataji means mother, and this is how she's called all over the world. She was born on the 21st of March, 1923. So tomorrow we are celebrating her 101 birthday. From her very childhood, Shri Mataji manifested very, very special qualities. As a child, she used to visit the ashram of Mahatma Gandhiji, and he quickly recognized her spiritual qualities, and he would often ask for her advice. He would often seek her advice. As a student, Shri Mataji played a very important role in the freedom of India. Her parents were arrested several times. First time when she was only 8 years old, and that's when, just as a little child, she took over the household responsibilities. And later on in her college, she joined the movement to release India from the British rulers. Shri Mataji has also unfortunately been arrested. She has been even tortured, but this did not did not stop her from sharing and manifesting and flowing her love, and making things move even at in those difficult circumstances. In 1970, Shri Mataji began her spiritual work. She was 47 years old. She had already fulfilled her responsibilities towards her family. And I would just mention, I'm saying this because by that time, her two daughters were already married. So at 47 years old, she founded a method of giving en masse self-realization. So it's not anymore that spiritual knowledge passed to one or two people secretly, but it is an en masse process. And we all know, those of us who have experienced benefits of Sahaj Yoga meditation, that it is an inner transformation, and we become our own masters, and we have the capacity to heal ourselves. All right. Now, From the moment Shri Mataji introduced Sahaja Yoga to the world in 1970, she started traveling relentlessly all over the world. So in the 70s and 80s, Shri Mataji mainly traveled to Europe, Australia, and North America. In the 90s, those countries in Eastern Europe opened to Sahaja Yoga. They embraced Sahaja Yoga meditation, and soon thousands and thousands and tens of thousands meditation practitioners were there. And it's really remarkable, because if you think in worldly terms, it's impossible for any human being, any one of us, to have such a hectic schedule for no less than 40 years. For example, I selected this example for you because in 1990, so in 1 year, in 1990, Shri Mataji held more than 200 events in 26 countries. And you can all see them on the screen. And this pretty much became her usual schedule every single year. So the distance she traveled in 1990 exceeded 135,000 kilometers, which is the equivalent of circling the globe 3 times. Isn't this absolutely remarkable? And I would like to mention here that all the public programs, all the conferences, everything, all the interactions with the seekers of truth were completely free. And Shri Mataji always insisted on this, and she was always consistent about it. And so we are, those of us who are privileged to continue her work. And she always stated that we cannot pay for our spiritual growth. We cannot pay for our yoga, which is our union with the all-pervading cosmic divine power. We cannot pay for it. And I feel, this is just one of the many differences between Sahaja Yoga meditation and all the other forms of meditations or forms of yoga, because there is really a market out there. But what Shri Mataji has founded and what Shri Mataji has given to the world is so genuine and effective. And you just need to get the experience and the transformation within. And that will convince you that this is the truth. All right. Apart from Sahaja Yoga, Shri Mataji also founded non-governmental organizations for destitute women and children, several schools, several hospitals. And by hospital, I do not mean the traditional hospitals where patients are treated with, medicines and with, there are no surgeries offered there, but there are hospitals in which patients are cured with vibrations. So patients are taught to meditate. They are being worked on. They are being worked on their chakras with the Sahaj treatments that Shri Mataji has taught us, and that's how their diseases are removed. So there are a few places in the world where we have these hospitals, and 2 of them are in India. One is in Bombay, and the other one is in Delhi. So again, remarkable, curing diseases, very serious diseases like even cancer, with only vibrations and with this method of meditation. What is really to be noted is that in 1997, at the Royal Albert Hall in London, Shri Mataji received the Nobel Prize for Peace for her work and for her gift to humanity, which is Sahaja Yoga. And there are so many other awards. The list is so long. However, I made a short selection of the many awards that Shri Mataji has received. And you can see a couple of them on the screen. The list is very, very long, so I'm not going to go through it, because we also want to food soak and meditate and enjoy all the other beautiful surprises that we have prepared for all of you. So these are just a few of the awards that Shri Mataji has received. All right, before we start our food soak and meditation, I would like to invite all of you to watch this very short video, which is a recollection of one of those very, very fortunate who met Shri Mataji in person in the 1980s. And this particular recollection happened in Austria. I would like to say that I also have been very, very blessed and fortunate to meet Shri Mataji in person. And what I can say, my interaction has not, I did not get the chance to interact very often. But I would like to just say that simply being in the presence of Shri Mataji would completely take you to a different state, to a new state, to a much higher state of your awareness. So the presence of Shri Mataji would emit joy. And I'm not talking about the worldly joy, but I'm really talking about the joy of the spirit. There was this tremendous spiritual comfort and tremendous feel of absolute joy and tremendous feeling of fulfillment that one would experience in her presence. So without wasting time, let us enjoy this beautiful video, after which we are going to start the food soak and the meditation.
My name is Herbert Reininger. I'm originally from Austria, born and raised in Vienna. And I got my self-realization in 1982 on September 28th. This is like my birthday that I will never forget.
Within us is placed this residual energy in the triangular bone called as Kundalini.
He has not been there before. And at that time, I was not in a very good shape as a person. Lots of issues, complications. And in hindsight, it turns out I was a seeker, but unfortunately, I wasn't aware of it. I was just dissatisfied with everything around me. And to express that dissatisfaction created even more complications in my life. On September 28th in 1982, I'm walking home from work. Something in my head says, this sounds weird, right? But it was really like that. There is a newspaper ahead of you on the sidewalk. Pick that newspaper up. And I'm thinking to myself, whosoever's talking to me probably doesn't know that I already read the newspaper. And this is a paper where thousands of people walked over it, so why on earth would I do that? Nonetheless, I see the newspaper, I pick it up and I open it. And the first thing I see is a photo of an Indian lady that smiles at me. And the experience, it was like crusts of something hard around my heart was just melting. And I couldn't stop looking at her. So I'm standing here with my newspaper, people walking left and right. It's an autumn evening, very nice. I don't know how long, but it must have been a while. And then I realized there was some text to it. It was actually a small article with a photo of Shri Mataji. It said that this lady is here and she is giving self-realization. I knew nothing what that means, and it's free. I thought, oh, that's cool. I want to go there. I really want to feel if I can have the same sensation when I see her in person. So I rushed home, took a quick shower, rushed back because I thought, okay, that's free. There must be lots of people, and I want to be as close as possible, right? Actually, I was a bit too rushed that I was one of the first ones in the hall. And the yogis that were coming from other countries, were still there preparing, and I'm just watching that. I almost left later on because there was an introduction. So remember, this was the first Sahaja Yoga program in Austria. A person from Switzerland, our neighboring country, gave an introduction, and the accent was so hard to understand, and talking about things I've never heard about. I was about to get up and leave. So there was this contradiction between my brain and my heart. The heart said, nothing doing. I'm gonna sit this through. I want to meet Shri Mataji. The brain said, but what's it about? I don't understand the thing. I mean, it's just waste of time, right? It's just going back and forth. I made it through, and then the magic happened. Shri Mataji comes in this white sari, gracefully, slowly walking through the stage, looking at us, all of us. The hall was full, and I felt the same thing again. The heart was just melting, and I got tears in my eyes, and I thought, well, what is going on? I don't understand. How come I have tears in my eyes? So then she did an introduction, as she always did.
Unless and until this union takes place, the manifestation of this residual power does not take place.
And that was difficult to follow because she used words that I have never heard before, but also I felt I'm even not tall enough to reach into that current that I felt high above me. So it's like I'm trying to sort of handle myself up there, but it didn't really work all that well. And then she did that meditation that she always does. And at the end of it, I put my hand up there as she instructed. And then I thought, now it gets very interesting because I can actually feel it. So how is that possible? In those days, Shri Mataji used to stay in the hall for quite a while after the end of the program. She said, anybody who wants to come and talk to me can come. So as I was sitting quite much in front, I was one of the first in line, and I had to go up a few steps, maybe 3-4 steps up the stage. And as I'm starting to walk up there, Shri Mataji extends her hands to me. And without thinking what I'm doing, I just take her hands. And she pulls me up to her. And she smiles at me. But again, I started crying. And she just said, it's so nice you came. And that was when I knew I had arrived home. I am home now. After all these crazy journeys, now I'm home.
Wasn't that a very, very beautiful experience? All right, so we are going to start the foot soak and meditation. Those of you who are ready with a tub, that's great. Those of you who are not ready for a foot soak today, or you do not know what that is, don't worry about it. You can just follow along and meditate with us. And we are going to start by raising our motherly energy called Kundalini within us. And just because I'm not very sure everyone feels very comfortable with it, I would like to explain it a little bit. So the way we do it is the left hand goes parallel to the spinal cord and the right hand goes around it. And that's how we raise it. We raise our energy from the base of our spinal cord up on the head, and then up here on the head, we make 1 knot the first time, 2 knots the second time, and 3 knots the third time. So we raise our energy 3 times because there are 3 energy channels. And then what we'll do, we are going to cover ourselves with the vibrations, with the energy, with the divine energy, right? And then how do we do that? We again use our right hand from the left hand side of our body, around us and back. All right? So we are going to do this 7 times, because what we want is we want to protect all the 7 chakras, the 7 energy centers within us. All right. So we are going to do this in just a bit. Why don't we just settle and make sure we are very comfortable? All right. So let's sit very comfortably. Our both hands should be opened in our lap. We can close our eyes. And what I always like to do is I always like to remind myself that this time is a very precious time. This time is my opportunity to be connected with the all-pervading cosmic power. And how sincere I am will determine the depth of my meditation. So let's just feel the pure desire in our heart. We are here because we are seekers of truth. And we are faced with the truth, with a true experience that awaits us. So let's be very sincere about it. We can now raise our energy, and you can open your eyes if you're not sure how to do it. So the left hand will go along the spinal cord and the right hand will go around it. And up on the head, we are going to make 1 knot. Symbolically, it means that we really want that this divine energy stays awakened and keeps us connected. All right, let's do it again the second time. Let's do it slowly with our full attention. And let's make 2 knots above our head. And let's do it the third time. And we're going to make 3 knots above our head. And now let's protect ourselves with a divine energy, with these divine vibrations. So the right hand starts from the left, goes from the left hip to the right hip and back. 7 times. So let's do it the second time. And the third time. The fourth. The fifth. The sixth. And 7th. All right. So let's open our hands and see what we feel in our hands. We can open our hands at the level of our heart. Are we more peaceful within? Is our attention within? Do we feel anything in our palms? All right. So if we have the futsal bucket before us, what we can do is we can vibrate the water by making bandhan or these circles above it. All right, so let's do this together. Those of you who are ready with it, if you are not, no problems. We can put our feet in. We can close our eyes again. And let's place both our hands towards Mother Earth. In Sahaja Yoga, we use the 5 elements to cleanse ourselves, to clear our chakras. So we are going to use a few fundamental affirmations. So let's have our attention within, both our hands placed towards Mother Earth. And let us ask, Mother, please absorb all the impurities from me. Mother, please take away all my worries, all my problems, all my imbalances. And give me the right state so I can meditate. You can repeat these affirmations within. We can bring back our hands in our lap. And let's take our left hand on the left aspect of the heart chakra. So the right hand goes on our heart. The essence of our being resides here, which is the spirit. So here let us say, Mother, I am the spirit. Please let me experience the security, joy, and silence of my spirit. Let's place the right hand on our forehead and let us ask for divine help so that we can forgive. Here we can say, Mother, I forgive myself and I forgive everyone. Just let go, relax, and forgive. And last but not the least, let's place the right hand on our Sahasrara, which is the top of our head. Let's push back our fingers, press down, and move the scalp, so not the hair, but the scalp by putting pressure. Clockwise 7 times. Clockwise means left, forward, right, back. Slowly, and every time, let us ask for the establishment of this experience of our yoga or of our self-realization. So 7 times let us ask, Mother, please establish my self-realization. We can bring back our right hand, palm facing upwards. Let us have our attention in our Sahasrar, on the top of our head, and remain in this peaceful state. If there are any thoughts, let them go. You can say, I forgive. And let your attention be on the peace, on the silence within, not on the thoughts. We can open our eyes. We can rinse our feet with clean water and put the bucket aside. And let's continue meditating while watching this very short documentary on the life and work of Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi. It's very important that we try to maintain the meditative state because, again, it's all an experience, and this is a state in which we grow spiritually, in which we go deep into our own being. So it's very important that we keep our palms open in our lap comfortably, and we absorb the vibrations in the meditative state, all right? And then at the end of the session, I would love to hear how you all felt. I hope you enjoy the meditation and the video.
The ancient land of India, a land once divided amongst warring kings and princes, a land troubled over centuries by the occupation of foreign powers, until in the middle of the 20th century, India achieved independence and freedom from those who had ruled her for 300 years. India achieved her birthright of freedom. One of the young leaders of this campaign for political freedom was a medical student now known as Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, who has since that time dedicated her life to another kind of freedom, the freedom of the spirit, through self-realization and the practice of Sahaja Yoga.
It's your birthright as a human being to become the spirit. That is what Sahaja Yoga is. Saha means with and Jai is born. Born with you is the right. To get this yoga is the union with the divine. Is your birthright. As a human being, you are, as I told you, at the epitome of evolution. And it has to work out. But please open your hearts and open your minds.
The unique experience of self-realization takes place when the primordial energy, called Kundalini, is correctly awakened by someone who has already experienced and mastered their own self-realization. Shri Mataji has explained that the Kundalini is the power of our spiritual ascent, found in the triangular bone at the base of the spine called sacrum by the Greeks. It is the power of our pure desire. When awakened, the Kundalini rises spontaneously through 6 subtle centers called chakras. The Kundalini then emerges through the fontanella bone area at the top of the head, emitting a cool breeze that can be felt there as well as on the hands. In her desire to offer self-realization to mankind through Sahaja Yoga, Shri Mataji constantly traveled the world.
I'm not here to take anything from you,
Yo no he venido aquí a tomar nada de ustedes,
nor for a vote from you. I'm not a politician.
y tampoco he venido a hablar porque yo no soy una política.
I'm here to give you the key of your own wealth.
Und sie entdecken ihre eigene Ruhm und den ihres Nachbarn.
There's a big inner revolution that is coming up,
Es ist eine fantastische innere Evolution, die aufsteigt,
which is silent, joyous,
die ruhig ist, friedvoll.
and is going to change the whole humanity.
Und sie wird die ganze Menschheit verändern.
Когда так много ленинградцев мгновенно, одновременно получили реализацию.
This was the dream of Lenin,
И это была, можно сказать, в этом была мечта Ленина,
who was a realized soul himself,
который, если вы не знаете, также был человеком
that
реализованным.
he wanted to have stateless state.
И его идея об отмирании государства в государстве...
You have to be able. I would have to. have felt. Cool breeze in their hands or from their head. Please raise both your hands, please. So many. May God bless.
डोक्याच्या वर अदांत्री तर अदांत्री आता ज्या लोकांच्या हातात किंवा डोक्यात थंड थंड असं वाटलं असेल किंवा काहीतरी अशी ऊर्जा वाहते असं वाटत असेल त्या सगळ्यांनी दोन्ही हात वर करायचे. अशा गती आल्यासारखं वाटलं त्या सर्वांनी दोन्ही हात वर करायचे. दोन्ही
Shri Mataji was born in 1923 in the very centre of India, near the town of Nagpur.
Actually, I was born like this, in a very enlightened family, I should say. My father was a very enlightened man, and he was member of the assembly, Central Assembly. He was the member of the Constituent Assembly.
It was her father who took her to see Gandhi when Shri Mataji was a young girl. Gandhi recognized something unique in her and suggested that the child spend some time with him at the ashram, where she became a frequent visitor over the years. At the end of the 90s, the crowds who came to her public programs numbered in their thousands. But when Shri Mataji started teaching Sahaja Yoga in India back in 1970, it was only with a mere handful of people. Then, in 1973, Shri Mataji went to live in London.
I was telling you about
Her husband, Mr., now Sir C.P. Srivastava, had been elected Secretary General of the International Maritime Organization, an agency of the United Nations.
award from League of Nations.
One of the effects of Kundalini awakening through Sahaja Yoga has been to help people with all kinds of serious addictions, such as drugs and alcohol, and illnesses such as diabetes and cancer. Impressive results have attracted the attention of the medical profession. Dr. David Spiro is a general practitioner in London who has studied the application of Sahaja Yoga as a form of treatment and who has seen many cures for a variety of problems and a marked increase in the general good health and well-being of people who practice Sahaja Yoga.
I've been involved with Sahaja Yoga and the work of Shri Mataji for about the past 10 years. In India, there's been some scientific studies which have shown the physiological effects of Sahaja Yoga as a form of meditation, and some other studies on two particular illnesses, asthma and hypertension, which have shown very interesting results. They've shown, for example, much larger drops in blood pressure than have ever been demonstrated before by any other form of relaxation or meditation.
People around the world have been finding that the awakening of the Kundalini and the practice of Sahaja Yoga have helped to solve a wide variety of problems of all kinds. Now, at the beginning of the 21st century, Sahaja Yoga is being practiced in some 70 countries.
They have all combined together, integrated together, so peaceful. They have lost all these conditionings of their so-called man-made religions or their man-made boundaries of nations and man-made ideologies. The way there are so many political changes taking place so dramatically and so fast, one should expect a very beautiful world.
We can close our eyes again. And with our palms open upwards and our attention within, let's enjoy the meditative state for a couple of more moments. We can now open our eyes and let's see again what we feel in our hands. Let's place our hands at the level of our heart. And let's see what we feel in our palms. You can close your eyes again if that helps you focus more. Do we feel a cool breeze? Do we feel something warm? Or are our hands heavy? Or do we feel something particular in different fingers? Try to notice. And let's see what we feel above our head with the right hand first, all right? So This is the last energy center, and the energy flows through it, and we can feel it. Let's see what if we can feel anything with the right hand. You can move your hand a little bit to check for a place. And we can try it with the other hand as well. And now, to conclude the meditation, what we will do is we are going to raise our energy once again and protect ourselves with the divine vibrations, right? So from the sacrum bone, from the base of our spinal cord upwards, and the right hand goes around the left hand slowly, and above our head, we're going to make one knot. When our attention is good, we may even feel vibrations in our hands while doing this. It's a very powerful gesture. So once again, the second time, 2 knots above our head. And the third time. 3 knots above our head. And now from the left hip to the right and then back. 1 time, slowly 7 times for every energy center. The second time, the third, fourth, the fifth, the sixth, and the seventh. And once again, you can check your vibrations again. See what you feel in your hands. Okay. I hope all of you had a beautiful meditation today. I do hope that you all enjoyed the videos we prepared for you. And I would love to hear from all of you. So why don't we start with Jenny today? Hi, Jenny. How are you? I'm so happy you joined us today.
Hi, thank you so much for this. I've loved it. I feel very peaceful, very relaxed now. It was beautiful. Thank you
So
for doing this.
absolutely. So, Jenny, may I ask you, what was the first program that you attended with us? Was it at the Cranberry Library?
Yes, it was. And I had to race home today from work, so that's why I'm sometimes unable to do a lot of these actually. But today I was able to get to, and I'm so thankful I did.
That's great. Okay, so I believe you're not familiar with foot soaking, am I right?
Correct.
Not to worry about it. It's a technique which we use to purify our chakras, our energy centers. It is extremely effective. So not to worry that you weren't prepared for today. We can, if you don't know how to do it and you'd like to join in the future, we can surely get back with an email and explain everything. And if you'd like to, you can prepare for the next time and join us.
Oh, that'd be great. Yes, please.
All
I would
right.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure.
Hi, may I add something real quick here for Jenny? Give me a second. All right. Hi, Jenny. So just wanted to say, you mentioned at this time, you had to rush back from work. So just wanted to say on that, we have another program that runs a little later in the evening. It starts at around 8:45 p.m. And then, though it runs all the way to 10:30 p.m. as well, you can attend as much as you can, and then you can always leave early if you have other commitments. That's the 21-day course, and it's very similar. It's even well resourced, better resourced than this program that we run here, because we are running this locally, and that's more like a national initiative all around the US. So I definitely recommend, if you are able to, you please try and join those. We'll share with you the link for that in case you haven't received it already. The next one is going to be tomorrow at 8:45 p.m.
Okay. Yes, I do remember when I was at the Cranberry Library, there was a link sent out for it. I feel like, unfortunately for me, I'm going to bed around that time too. So, and I don't want to fall asleep during it and then be asked a question that I'm not available to answer or something.
No, yeah, so a couple of things on that, just because you mentioned. One thing is that these programs are also recorded, so you should be able to find them you should be able to find them on YouTube. So all these, and then you can watch it at your convenient time. So basically, if this is too early and that's too late, you can find a window between that time, between these two times. And those recorded videos are up on YouTube. The entire session is up on YouTube, and you can easily watch and navigate through it. So I can, while we're still chatting, I'll share that playlist, the entire playlist with you on the chat, on the Zoom chat, if you can pick it up from there, and you can watch it at your own pace and meditate with it.
Great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I have to say too, your voice, is your first name Carmen or is it something different? I'm sorry. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I was going to say your voice was just so calming too. I had so much distraction going on in the background between a sick kiddo home and who's on his iPad. And I just kind of tuned that out and listened to you. So thank you for this.
I'm happy to share this. Thank you for your feedback.
Yes, thank you.
So thank you so much, Karen, as well, for your inputs. How about you, Karen? So happy to see you joined us today.
Oh, hello, everybody.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, good to see you. And Jenny, I feel the same. Sometimes it's difficult for me to make the 6 o'clock one to come home, but it's very worthwhile. Even though I do participate in the national one, and it's great, and I would highly recommend it. And as Caroline said, you can find them on YouTube and do them when you have time. I know I did the first session of 21-day meditation, and it's very hard to do all 21 days, but you didn't feel that pressure to, in case you missed one, you could go back or play one that particularly you got a lot out of, and I've done that before. So that's really good. But I always really enjoy coming back and seeing the local Saj people, because that's where it started, and it's nice to connect personally there.
Thank you so much, Karen.
Yes, thank you for that feedback. That's good to know too. Thank you.
We already have the YouTube playlist in the chat. Are there any questions? Anyone would like to share anything?
I thought the documentary was very interesting. It was a nice, I enjoyed the historical background of it as well. So that was very interesting. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to both of you for joining us. Or you would have got already, Karen already knows how to meditate at home, but we can also send out a new email to you, Jenny, and tell you a little bit on how you could meditate at home if you'd like to. Of course, joining the sessions, being in a collective with other meditators who meditate, together is very helpful, because it really raises the level of your vibrations. And we usually have deeper meditations when we all meditate together. So it's great if you can do that, if you can join any of our online sessions as well. But I will send out an email on how to meditate at home as well. And I hope, you're able to do it and you enjoy the experience. Thank you to all of you for joining. Have a beautiful evening ahead, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Good night. Thank you.